connections and working with people. But there was a whole different level when in Money and You. It was like all of a sudden I had to access parts of my heart, my soul, and my brain simultaneously to work these games to make them understandable to me, not necessarily to anybody else. This was all about a growth pattern that I went through. And I'll tell you, because I had to go through that, and Doria brought me into this because of things that were happening in Asia. And I had to learn her principles. And when I understood Bucky's principles matched her principles, and the number one thing that stuck with me, and I think more than anything, even over responsibility, was integrity. For me, when I look at businesses and I look at people, I try and determine what their level of integrity is. Are they being true to themselves? Are they being true to their business? Are they being true to their clients? Are they being true to their family? Are they being true to themselves? And I look at people, I don't judge them. I just look at them and try to understand, how am I going to interact with them so it's a win-win? How do I understand the game of life? Because I played it so many different ways in my life. I've been up and down a few times. I've been poor, and I've been a mega millionaire, and I've been poor, and I'm coming back into life to being a mega millionaire again. It's just a game. But what you learn from the experience in Money and You is nothing you can learn in a lecture. It's nothing you can read in a book. And that's what really got me about it, is I had to be a part of it. I had to actually understand what I was doing for my part in the game and make sure that it fit with everybody else's part so that we could win the game, not as an individual, but as a collective. And that was the one strong thing that I really learned about Money and You, is that we can win more if we cooperate as a collective person than we can as an individual. Like they say, if you want to run fast, go by yourself. If you want to go further, go as a group. And I noticed that Money and You is probably one of my more special groups in the world. I have come back to it probably over 30 times over the last 22 years as a volunteer in the back. Why? Because every time I step back into that room, whatever I'm doing, I am hearing Carrie, and I am hearing the participants and how they're reacting. It's the same but different. And it's that humanity that comes out that keeps reminding me about my humanity. And all I can say is that if you want to experience something that will change your life in a way that there's no book that could ever do it, there's no seminar that could ever do it, Money and You is a program that I believe is the basis of any other program you ever want to go to. Literally, it gives you the fundamentals of life. It gives you the fundamentals of understanding how other people react and how you can be a benefit to them and they can be a benefit to you. All I can say is, in all the years I've been there, I have learned more about myself than probably any other program I've been to. And let me tell you, I've been to a lot of them. I spent a lot of money on a lot of programs, but I think the one that struck me the deepest was Money and You. And yes, I went to the business school, and that's a whole different level of reality. You want to step up in life, you want to expand your business to levels that you don't understand, go to the business school. When I got out of the business school in 2006, my income went up. And all I can say is, thank you, Doria.
Thank you.
amazing ride in my life.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Now, you guys are not supposed to just talk about money, and I really appreciate it. But one of the things that Paul is actually such a leader, and he is one of the best debt managers, one of the people that can help you reduce the most in anything that's related to finances. He is actually also a Santa Claus every December. So make sure, Paul, that you go to the Los Angeles Tribune, to the main page, and put information about yourself there so people get to know you. You're being so loving. I also want you guys to talk about your business, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go to the beautiful female, Ann Landstrom, who is a world-class photographer. And I'm waiting for the last pictures that you took.
They're coming, Doria. They're coming. It's been the holidays.
I know. I don't expect people to take off and without having done my pictures. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they'll be waiting on the U3 soon.
So I was going to ask you, tell us about money and leadership for you. You know, it's like you are a photographer, you are an artist, and you teach other photographers. A lot of times people don't understand how artists like yourself leverage yourself. So share about that.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your platform and the Los Angeles Tribune. I appreciate all of you, and happy holidays. So for me, being an artist, I never saw myself neither as a leader or did I understand business. A lot of artists are great at their art, but they're not very great at creating a business. So for me, going into Money and You was like to put my big girl pants on and really have to learn, like, how can I make money in what I love and what's my passion is about. And I think that is a lot of people, not only in the art industry, but in any industry. You're passionate, hopefully, of what you do. And then, okay, now how am I going to build a business around this so I can make money? And I learned a lot in Money and You. And again, somebody else said the you part is, I'm so sorry. Hey, I am watching a puppy.
We love your dog. We love your dog.
I'm watching my son's puppy. Let me get rid of the squeaky toy. Just 1 second. When I went through the program, not only did I learn a lot about money and myself, but also how we interact with other people in the games that are being played in Money and You, and how the games actually show up in all aspects of your life as a business owner, and how you show up for people and how people show up for you. And the games are not just games. That's actually how a lot of people show up later after Money and You. So both in the positive and negative waves. And also another thing that in Money and You, it's about networking and the people that are coming from all over the world to Money and You, and who you get to know. You never know who's in the room. I strongly believe that this is not only just about money, it's also about a transformational experience as a person going through the program. And that you could come back over and over again once you've gone through it. And when you come back the second time, you hear different things than you heard the first time. And I'm sure the third and the fourth, I've been back, I think, once or twice after the first time, and you pick up new things that you didn't hear the first time you were there. So for me, it's been a great experience, and also been able to get to know Doria and Chris closer, and been able to do Doria's branding. And for me, the one thing, I just wrote some notes here, is like the leadership. Like, I never saw myself as a leader, and what is a leader for me? Well, a leader for me is somebody that shows up with being authentic and walks the walk. And you are the same person that when you're not in the room. So whatever people are talking about you when you're in the room, you're the same person when you're not in the room. To me, that's a leader. Like, you're totally authentic, and integrity is one of my love languages, and always walk with integrity. So I think that's and karma. Karma is always going to come by and back and bite you in the neck. I truly believe in karma. And for me, another thing is being a woman. I see a lot of women in my studio that have problems with their businesses. They don't know where to start. Mo is hi Mo. Where to start, and sometimes I feel like I'm more of a therapist than I am a photographer. It's when people go to a hairdresser, they dump everything in the hairdresser's lap. When I have them in the studio, whether there's branding or boudoir, I get to hear everything, and I realize now as a business owner, and I've been now addicted to learning about business, how much I know. And when you have people that don't know what they don't know and how much you can share. So in that way, I guess I am a leader now because I've invested back so much into myself in different programs like Money and You. And now I see that the photography industry is really going to have a hard hit going forward with AI and artificial intelligence. In the last 2 years, I've been spending a lot of time studying AI. And now going forward, my goal is to help particularly women transform their businesses with the new technology and AI, because it is not it's not as scary as a lot of people think. It's really an art form in itself. You just have to, like anything, build the muscle and learn, or from help like me now being an expert in AI, help people do the transition in to the new technology in the world. So I think that the last thing I wanted to say is with Buckminster Fuller's is it only takes one person to make a difference. So be that person. You're muted, Doria.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
I
for having
so
me.
appreciate everything you said. And Kamal, you are on. You got a good 6 minutes to share everything about business and about. And thank you so much about leadership and money. What say you, Kamal?
What say I? What say I is, first of all, Money and You was transformational. I've done so many programs like so many of the other people here, and I'm bringing a whole bunch to the next session. And the reason I'm bringing them, they keep asking me, why are you saying this? I said, it literally is the most transformational thing I've done. They're like, oh, you've done everything. I said, well, not everything, but yeah, a lot. But this is something you have to experience. As you said, when we were in the training, it's hard to explain what it is, but what it is has, again, money and you. I remember playing one of the games and it became so late at night, and the game was the game. Yet what was happening with the interpersonal dynamics between us was what was breaking people down into looking so deeply within how they interacted with each other, how they interacted with themselves. And I remember my partner that was there that night didn't like me at all, probably wanted to out of the room. And then the next morning, it was fabulous. The amount of breakthroughs that she had. I remember watching her walk onto the stage and just being in awe at the transformation that she experienced. And it was as a result of going deep within and understanding how money, or the energy of money, relates to you. And precession, the law of precession, how when you're going towards something, right? Every little thing that you're pollinating on the path happens. And so what do? Well, I shifted from building large scale businesses into being the path of a spiritpreneur. So what does that mean? It means that everything is about impact. Everything is about what you do and how it changes other people. So as a servant leader, I know these are all terms that I'm just throwing out, but that truly is how I look at it. I am the servant to all the people that are in the company. I am the servant to the people that we serve outside. It doesn't matter how much money I have. It doesn't matter how big the company is. It's about making a difference, because that's what's meaningful. That's what's meaningful for me, because everything I do makes a difference for someone else, which radiates back within me. So Money and You gave me so much of an understanding, which is why I'm coming back to volunteer, because I want to go back and I want to go deeper again. Each game, somebody else said this earlier, is a reflection of how you show up, not only daily, but how you show up as people talk about you, how you show up in the way that you perform with your team, and how we show up. We've traveled around the world meeting elders and leaders and shaman and priests and Sufis and business leaders running huge companies. And they always ask me the same question. Why are you doing this? You have this one other company that does this and makes a bunch of money. Why are you doing this? I said, you don't get it. It's about being the difference, being the change. And I don't think there's one thing I can say beyond that. As much as I can go within and I can say, yes, this feels good. Yes, I am actually doing something to make a difference. And because of that, I'm receiving in abundance. And that's one of the greatest lessons I've learned. So there's a lot you can say, but I think it's simple. And it really is. The more you give, the more you receive.
That is your tip for being a leader, right? And thank you for being so generous with the food that you're going to bring. Very
Absolutely.
quickly, what is exactly the name of my favorite meal that you're bringing? I always forget.
Khichdi.
Huh?
Khichdi. So it's the
Yes,
Indian risotto.
it's the Indian risotto. That is correct. So we're going to have that for a dinner, right? And we'll talk
You
some
are.
more.
And it's
I'm so
blessed.
and it's blessed. It's going to be so beautiful, you guys. For some reason, we also have this wonderful Indian restaurant owner that Mo Rock, who's the leader of this platform, introduced me to, and he cannot make it, but he's going to make some special food for me to be able to provide for all of you. So so far, this is like the best food money in you yet. So graduates from around the world, coming down in less than 2 weeks. Come and hang out with us. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. I have so many wonderful things to say about all of you. And make sure that you go to the Los Angeles Tribune Facebook page and then keep sharing. We're going to have another group coming in, and we have a little surprise towards at the end there. So thank you so much. We love you. Go and talk about yourselves in there. All right. Thank you so much. And I believe that my beautiful Ava is going to be working with me now, right? Ava, you are here with me, and you're going to be bringing up the next group of people. And we can take a little longer because this is a little bigger group. So let's go ahead and bring them up, Ava. Thank you. Dr. Jody Bear and my beloved Chris Menzel. All right, here we go. Oh, and we have Jackie and Shockley and Dame Sandra Biscine and Carol Hodges. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we need everyone to be muted. We want you to take off anything that is a second phone. If you got the phone, you know that you got this going on, turn it off now because we will have an echo. All right. For some reason, it picks it up. So turn off the phones for if you're going to have this. So we're going to go ahead and have Dame Sandra Biscine because she's caring for her beautiful beloved. And she's kind of like, we would like for her to give a little talk to us about money, leadership, what you have learned, and then that will give you an opportunity for you to go ahead and go back with your sweetie and take care of him, give him all of our love. So, Sandra, what say you about this topic? Thank you. I think you're on mute.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll go ahead and feature her. Ava, I think whoever's handling in the back will feature her for a few minutes. Can that be done? I have no control. So thank you so much. If we can just feature her, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Take us off. Thank you. Go ahead, Sandra.
Doria, I was just saying that honestly, I just feel quite emotional. I've been listening to everybody speak for the last hour. And honestly, when you hear leaders of this incredible caliber talking and a little bit about their life and what they do, but a lot about this program, I think everybody out there and everybody watching this is just going to realize that this is not just another program. Money in You is an experience. And I started in business when I was 18, when my mother died. I was really thrown in to the fashion industry, and I was obviously a solopreneur. I had no idea what I was doing, and I had to learn quickly. But the one thing that did happen for me was that I had a lot of mentors, and the mentors were teaching me about business, and often the hard way. And so all my life as a solopreneur in the fashion industry, and throughout that, really delving into my biggest passion, which has been a spiritual mentor and coach, psychic medium, and author. One of the things that really occurred to me when I was at Money and You was I was confused. I was like, what is going on here? I had never come across anything like this, because when you're in business on your own, and I expected to make money, right? I had seen my mother do it. And, you know, when you're a child, you think whatever you see, you often think that that's normal. And so my mother, being this beautiful 36-year-old, 40-year-old businesswoman, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is normal. So I expected to make money. I had a great relationship with it. I wouldn't go out without a lot of cash in my bag, because I, just in case I wanted something. And I had great stuff, but I didn't understand the value of my stuff, because I was in this grief-stricken world of my own, trying to survive, but thriving at the same time. It really wasn't until I did Money and You that I thought, oh, if I could go back now with this information, I would have a very different relationship with my staff. And because it's the people that you're working with, it's how you're showing up that's so important. And I'm going to tell you a little story, because Money and You really brought this home to me. But one day I turned up at work, and one of my staff said to me, you know, we never know what we're going to get with you. Are you going to be happy, sad, a bitch? And I'm like, I'm in shock. And I thought, oh, how you show up. This is it. How you show up in the world. Are you the high frequency being that you're meant to be in order to have success and to magnetize people to you, for you, to work with you? Or are you going to be that person that nobody really knows what's going on? And Money and You hits that home really hard. And I've heard quite a few people say, oh, I had to look deep. I had to go deep. And, you know, every morning before I went into work, I would sit in my car and ask myself 4 questions. And by the time I finished asking myself those 4 questions, I then walked into work, and I could see my staff like, oh, they think I'm okay today, right? Because I was a different person. I was the best version of me. And the interesting thing that happens when you do something like that is that no matter what is going on in the world, and I'd been through a couple of financial crises, worldwide and individual, and I was rock bottom when this girl said this to me, by the way. And so it was like a double whammy. Oh, okay, so I'm struggling with my business. I'm about to divorce my first husband as a 27-year-old, and now I'm a bitch in my work. So honestly, it was a very interesting time. But the 4 questions I asked myself are the 4 questions I've been teaching now for 40 plus years. And when I did Money and You, I realized that the unconscious mind is running your business at least 95% of the time. And that when you do the games in Money and You, it allows the unconscious mind to rear its head, and it's either going to rear its head and you're going to be not happy with your result, or you're going to go, and even when you're not happy, by the way, the whole point is it's like, oh, okay, so this is really what I was thinking. This is really where I thought I was at in business with people. Because Doria Cordova is a queen of communication, connection, and collaboration. And honestly, that's why she's successful, and that's why Money and You is successful. And that's something that I didn't understand as an 18-year-old thrown into business. And now in my 70s, it's like, yeah, this is it. If it weren't for Money and You, I would never, ever have even thought that I could go into a direct marketing business. This is weird, right? Because I've been a solopreneur. I've got 8 best-selling books. I've spoken all over the world. And by the way, the most exciting time that I've ever had on stage was in Thailand with you, Doria, when you invited me to speak and teach at the business school for entrepreneurs. That was probably, it's a highlight of my life. So thank you for inviting me, and I hope I get invited back. But again, that was a highlight because I knew that I had to show up as the very best version of me in order for everybody in that audience to be able to show up as the best version of who they are. Because people emulate you. They emulate your frequency. They'll emulate where you're coming from, the way you speak, who you are. And in Money and You get to understand that who you are might need tweaking and that the unconscious mind needs work. So for my business, I have spent my life delving into the unconscious mind to help my private clients get clear and strong to the programs that are sabotaging their life. And when I started doing that, and I went to Money and You and realized the work was so similar, I was just blown away. And then, of course, in the direct marketing world, I'm, one of the top people in the LifeWave business, because the product now works with the unconscious mind, frequency and light and energy. And I just want to say to everybody listening here today that you are a light being, you are an energy being, and you have a frequency and a vibration, whether you know it or not. And I'm not being spiritual here. This is just the truth of who we are. It's science. You are an energy light being, and how you show up is what manner of frequency that you have. And I have worked with business people who have done all of the right things. They hadn't been to Money and You, by the way, but they've done all of the right things, and they're still saying, but why? Why am I not getting, the job? Why am I not getting an interview even? And when I tweaked the unconscious mind and we had them show up as the highest frequency version of who they are, then they got the interviews, then they got the job, and then they got the promotions. So again, Money and You as an experience takes you into the depths of your being in order for you to move forward as an amazing, unique human being that you were born to be. So be the light, live the light that you are, be the inspiration. And something about a good leader, and that is that when people feel great in your presence, that's one thing. But when they still feel uplifted, inspired, and wonderful when they're not in your presence because of the work that you've done, that's when you know that you're having the impact that you've come here to have. So Doria, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being the being that you are and doing the work that you do in the world.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you. Wow, what a beautiful share. Wow. So what we're doing is I'm just I love the way that people apply these principles, all of you. So many people apply these principles in their lives. And it's not only the Money and You program, but all the different beautiful teachers that come along. And many of you are teachers. And so what I want to do is just give you an opportunity. And here we have my beloved is the beautiful male. So we're going to have gentlemen go next so that he can go ahead and share. And what say you about money, leadership, and what would you like to share, Chris Mental?
I want to start with remembering Sandra's talk at the business school. It was fantastic. She went, I think, double or triple her time, and we all were hanging on her lips, and it was a phenomenal experience. And I've been probably a dozen times now in Money and You in all kinds of different countries. I still learn more. Every time I come in, there's something else I hear, something else I experience. And I wanted to come in here and talk a little bit of AI. I've been in AI since I made my master's thesis in computer science about neural networks. That was 1979, and been following that. But for the last two years, AI has been totally changing my life. In fact, right now I live by the maxim, if I think more than 5 minutes, I should use AI. So Money Mouse is a comic book which talks about what you learn in Money and You from the perspective of a beautiful little mouse. It's written by AI. I've, of course, brought the ideas in. But the writing has been done by AI, the graphics has been done by AI, and it's beautiful. It's a fabulous thing. And the second Money Mouse book is already out. Money Mouse Becomes an Entrepreneur. I have two other books that I'm working on right now. I have one book that I finished. It's Passive Income, The Passive Income Revolution. That gives step-by-step instructions how to do that. And now I'm going beyond that because I think people don't really have the mindset to read 300-page books. So now I'm putting the knowledge into a conversation. So you can now talk with important people that you want to learn of. And the gift I have for you today is a program, and not complicated. You just click on it, that's it, where you can ask your business question, and you have Rockefeller talk about it, Elon Musk talk about it, Jay Abraham talk about it from the marketing side, and then Gandhi talk about it from the social side. And they all form a mastermind that is so informational, instructional. I think you will like it. And I also have a mastermind tutor. If you're on the move from a job to being an entrepreneur, this tutor will help you to change your mind and bring in the entrepreneurial thinking. And last not least,